Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's set of reads. These readings are always valid for whenever you tune into them, of course. But that being said, for this installment, for the tarot cards, I'm using the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. And to where you can find it, it's by Tilly Walden. I knew there was something else I wanted to say there, Tilly Walden. And you can find it at Liminal 11. The website is liminal11.com, liminal 11, there it is if you want to see it. The oracle cards I've chosen are Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. And the website for this one, rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as in apple, U as an umbrella. And of course, I use dice, 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0. And 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element that matches up with the minor arcana. You can find those at mathartfun.com, and it's the dice shop. Okay, that being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And let's go on and watch your read. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Leo? You have a very short-lived block, is what I'm starting to think. Very short-lived. I don't know how that's going to feel for you just yet. Okay. I don't think this is going to be hard for you at all. Other people might have issues, but, oh well, that happens. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little sadistic for laughing at that, but I'm like, Leo's got a lot of success. Like, you guys get things done. You don't wait around for people's permission typically, and like that creates its own version of success. So if people are going to be connected with you, hey, that's how it works. Like, either love it or leave it. I don't know where I'm getting that strong pull from, but I'm like, if it's difficult for them, well, all right, then it is, I guess. I guess it is then. Things have been, whatever the subject is, whatever this subject we're dealing with in this reading, things have been, I want to say, fairly smooth. And when I say that, like, you've been moving along. Doesn't mean everybody's been your biggest fan the whole way, but it's kind of like, yeah, that's fine, and you just keep going. Nobody's really gotten in your way, per se. I don't see, you're not trying to steamroll anybody. I just keep looking at, like, there's a person from my past that was a Leo, and I remember her quite well. Very nice person, but she wasn't going to wait for somebody's permission to get things done. And, like, she would tell people, like, listen, if that hurt your feelings, that's not why I did that. I just needed to get it done. And she wouldn't let people, like, get in her way in that sense, if that made sense. Like, all right, you didn't want that or you didn't want this. Well, I didn't do that as a slight to you. It's what I had available. It's what I needed to do, and I just needed to move it off my list. So, if you want to take it as an insult, I guess that's on you, because that's not what it was meant as. I just kind of remember that with her every now and then. People get bent out of shape with her, but she would say, I didn't do it to do anything mean to you. I just needed to get it off my list, so that's what I did. Especially when she would move ahead and other people get upset because she did it before they had a chance to, and they would get upset because they wanted to do it. She was like, listen, it needed to be done. You were just going a little too slow. So, sorry about it. All right, so that's the energy we're moving forward from, very self-sufficient, not shocking at all. Leo's very self-sufficient, tends to be very self-sufficient. Even in situations where people don't want you to be self-sufficient, you're still self-sufficient. You get things done. And I'm getting like there's a block coming up here that's not going to last that long. In fact, okay, let's take this slow because I don't want to be like a little bit haphazard with this. I see you moving into something with this Fool energy. And then it's like it's almost like a door that's locked and I don't have the key for it. Okay. Door, I need to get in here, door's locked, I don't have the key for it. This is another thing that I see Leo as. So if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But it's kind of like, oh, I need to get in there. I don't have the key. Who does? How do I find out who does? How do I get to who does? How do I get into this room? Can somebody at least unlock it for me at the very least? I need to get in there. How do I get in there? Where do I need to go? And you just keep moving. There's a block, but I'm getting you have the power to get through this block, and you pretty much do without thinking about it too much. I feel like you don't overthink it. You're just like, I need to get in there. Let's go. Who's going to get me in that door? If I can have a key to it, or if I can get permission, or whatever I need to do, if somebody just needs to get me in there, I need to get in there. Let's go. Let's do it. And when you do this, you get in this room. It's kind of like you get in this room. It's not funny. It makes me laugh. I don't know. It just makes me laugh. We'll find out why in a minute. I have a feeling. People are like, what just happened? How did Leo get in there? What just happened? Leo did what? Leo did what they needed to do. That's what Leo did. You go right, you get it. There you go. I needed to get in there, so I did what I had to do. People are just like, how, what, who? How did Leo get in there? And they'll probably find out how you get in there. You did what you had to do. This was my responsibility. You said I had to take care of this. Part of it was in that room. So I went in there and took care of it. That's that. You did what you had to do. So there's something going forward from this moment where it's kind of like people are a little like, I don't know, how do people feel? Because I don't even know. It feels like a mix, quite frankly. Overall, how do people feel? How do people feel in the way that it's going to affect Leo the most? They don't know. They like it. They got the 10 of Cups like right up and down. Like it's fully in. People do like it, but okay, I see why. Okay. But then they're like, well, if Leo's going to do it, I guess I don't have to. No. No. This aggravates me now. I feel like this is why it's half in, half out. They love it. They're not giving you a hard time about it. Take that with a grain of salt. But then they get to the Hanged Man, and they're like, well, if Leo's going to do it, I guess I don't have to. No. You're not anybody's cleanup crew. Like, let's not do that. I mean, this is part of your success because you do things that maybe are other people's responsibilities sometimes. And I think I gave that example before, but you're not other people's cleanup crew. That's not why you're here. I feel like, I don't know if you're going to be aggravated for the people that this hits with, but for me, I'm kind of like, it aggravates me. It's kind of getting under my skin, which I think that's the Leo energy I'm connecting to. Like, no. I don't show up to be your cleanup crew. No. For a slight moment, I have to step back and I have to be more diplomatic because I'm not investing in being somebody's cleanup crew. And I keep hearing that cleanup crew energy. Like, because literally, this reminds me of a different Leo, actually. They would clean things up. They had a cleaning thing. They didn't like it when things looked like... They would clean the break room, just make it short. And they really went above and beyond. Like, they would wash the counters, spray them. They did this constantly every day. Once they even cleaned out the refrigerator. Like, that was not their job. But people became dependent on that. The people who were supposed to do that job stopped doing it because they knew the Leo would just do it. Now, we have to slow down and be a little bit more diplomatic. If somebody isn't doing things up to par and they're not doing it correctly, we need to give that feedback. And once in a while, if you help out, that's one thing. But people should not become dependent on this just because you will do it. I don't know. It's like, You got better things to do. You got more important things to do. I'm just saying. So we got to balance this out. They're saying there will be a moment here where you kind of get in the middle of, like if we're going to use the break room thing, for example, and you're cleaning up the break room and that's not your thing. If you're supposed to be an account analysis, you're an account analyst, whatever, your big corporate job, whatever you want to throw in there. Can't speak apparently. You need to be centering on that. If you want to help out with the break room and clean things up when you see like, oh, somebody left a mess and that's disgusting and we don't want bugs. Okay, yeah, I get that. Once in a while, you just do what you got to do because it needs to be done. Then you're like, we're not just going to leave it there for like, half the day because people don't want to take responsibility for themselves. Okay, I see you doing that, but you also should make note of it to the right people and then not make that a habit. Once in a while, yes. Okay, somebody needed to clean it up, so you did. Okay, but you shouldn't be cleaning the whole break room. And like, keep looking back at this one person. They were a Leo, and they just kept doing it for whatever reason. And you will get caught in the middle of something where there's a discussion about this, right? The idea, the possibility, I gotta say this right, is to not just accept that it goes better if you just do it. Because if you start doing it, there's better things for you to be doing. And it's kind of like, one of the complaints when the Leo would do that, I just refer to her as the Leo at this point, was people were kind of like, the person who actually is responsible for that job is getting a free paycheck. Like, they're not upholding to their, so like, it's like the Leo's doing extra work and not getting compensated, and somebody who is getting compensated for it is getting free money off of Leo's effort. So be aware of that. So the idea here is to not just do it because it's the easier way to do it. I'll just do it because it's the easier way to handle it. I'll just do it because it'll actually be done right. A possibility to consider, let's do that, is to go forward for like the success the way this thing should work. And they're giving a few cards like, people don't like it. People don't like it. But that's just too bad. You don't have to be liked all the time. Is that the 5? It is the 5. So that's like an argument card. It doesn't have to be a knockdown, drag out argument, but like stick up for yourself, stick up for other people, however that means. People aren't going to like it, but it's kind of like, people need to do what they're supposed to do. Keep pushing back. Whenever, like, again, I gave that analogy of like cleaning up the break room. All right, there's a mess and it's going to lead to bugs and you don't want that. All right, clean it up. Make notes. Send an email to the people who need to know. By the way, cleaned it up again today. I'm just making note for my own references. By the way, and especially if you have 3 or 4 emails per day where you're picking up the messes and nobody else is, something else needs to go differently. It will make it kind of like of a more combative nature. It'll be more of people are going to argue a bit until they finally do it the way they're supposed to, and I'm not really sure that there's going to be a point where they won't argue. But the more you push back, the more, even if you're cleaning it up, even if you're doing it, but you make note, you keep telling people, yep, I had to do it again today, yep, had to do it again today, certain people aren't going to like it, and it's going to cause controversy that will actually go into actually fixing the situation the way it should be fixed. You're not meant to be somebody's cleanup crew. You have better things to be doing. Once in a while, helping out is a beautiful thing. Yes, that's nice. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But when people start relying on you to do what they should be doing, that's not okay. You know what I mean? So they're saying, complain. Say something. Complain. You can still here and there, but complain. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. Because I'm getting that after a while, people aren't going to like it that you keep saying something. And they're going to get... If they're not embarrassed to begin with, they will be at some point. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of chatter. There's going to be a lot of talk about what's going on. It's going to bring this situation to the highlight for a lot of people. There's going to be many people who never even noticed it was happening. And it's going to highlight it to those people. And then people might get embarrassed and they might stop doing what they're not supposed to be doing. Or I should say, they might start doing what they're supposed to be doing anyway. Even if it's embarrassment that's motivating them, as long as they're doing what they're supposed to, and you don't get stuck with picking up the pieces, because I feel like people want to get out of this situation and they don't want to deal with it anymore. after it becomes more and more public about what's really going on, people get embarrassed, is what I keep getting, and they don't like that. So all of a sudden, then they're like, all right, let's actually put it together the way we're supposed to. People who are supposed to have these responsibilities are doing what they're supposed to. That Four of Pentacles is interesting, because I feel like the person who was supposed to take care of those Four of Pentacles is kind of getting boxed in, because it's like, once people really start realizing that so-and-so is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's like instead of having just one manager, they got like 50. Everybody's watching now. Instead of just one person is supposed to keep them on it, there's like 50 people going, oh, well, you heard from Leo that you don't do what you're supposed to. You're not doing it again today? Like, I feel like that's how it's going to go. So take it with a grain of salt. Again, you're not anybody's cleanup crew, so you got better things to be doing. Anything else? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.